Have you ever wished you could just say goodbye to belly fat once and for all? Well, then stay tuned, because in today's video, I'm sharing with you my top 5 tips for getting rid of stubborn belly fat. Hey everyone, Erin here with Healthy Mom, Happy Family, and thanks so much for joining me today. I wanted to talk with you today about one of my favorite topics, which is belly fat. Now, most of us know we have a little bit of belly fat around our middle, and it's something we probably want to get rid of. But belly fat is more than just uncomfortable fat that maybe we don't like how when we look in a bathing suit. What it is what's called visceral fat. And visceral fat is this dangerous fat that falls below the abdominal muscle wall. So it hangs inward towards where all of our vital organs are. And it basically wraps them like a blanket. Now, this is really concerning because it's not just fat that's stored energy. Visceral fat is also metabolically active. So it's constantly producing hormones and chemicals which can increase inflammation in the body. This is exactly why people that have wider waistlines have more health risks. When our waist circumference increases, our risk for things like type 2 diabetes goes up, high blood pressure, even certain cancers. So getting rid of belly fat isn't just about how we look, it's really a health problem. And when we have a widening waist, or we know that our waist is gaining inches year after year, it's something I want you to take action on. Because lowering that waist circumference, getting rid of that dangerous visceral fat, is the #1 way you can improve your overall health. And so today, I wanted to share with you my top 5 ways to make it happen. Now, when I was writing my book, Belly Fat Diet for Dummies, and I'm gonna link to it below in case you wanna check it out, I did a lot of research on belly fat, visceral fat, and the foods that can have a major impact on it. And it's shocking how many studies are out there about foods and their direct impact on insulin resistance and belly fat. You know, we find one of the things that triggers our body to store more fat in the midsection is when our insulin levels go up and our body becomes more resistant to it. So when we eat foods that tend to cool down inflammation, help better regulate our blood sugar, we see that our body is more willing to stop storing that dangerous fat, but also to burn it more. And there's 5 foods that really make a big impact when it comes to lowering belly fat. And the first is the food group of resistant starch. So what the heck is a resistant starch? The resistant starches are really what they sound like. They're starches that resist digestion. So they're basically carbohydrates that are very rich in fiber. So you'll find a lot of resistant starch in foods like beans and lentils, in whole grains, oats, brown rice. You'll even find resistant starch in bananas when they're more slightly green versus when they ripen more. They have a lot higher percent of the resistant starch when they're a little bit more green. So all of these foods are packed full of fiber. They're packed full of these starches that resist digestion. And why this is important is for 2 reasons. When a food is resisting digestion, it takes longer to break it down, it keeps you full longer, and it releases sugar into the bloodstream much more slowly. So our blood sugar just kind of keeps a nice, steady, even level throughout the day, which is great for energy, but it's also great for promoting a healthy insulin balance and preventing insulin resistance. The other benefit of this is as you're eating more of these resistant starch and you're getting more fiber in the diet, your body works harder in digestion. And when your body works harder at something, it burns more calories. So we get a metabolism boost just by eating more of these resistant starch and increasing our fiber content. And the other benefit too, when you eat more fiber, is you just feel more satisfied. And so when we're eating more fiber each day, it can help us to feel more satisfied, eat smaller portions, which can in turn promote weight loss. There was a study that found when people ate an additional 14 grams of fiber per day, they lost about 10% more weight by the end of the year, and it was solely due because they had less appetite, they felt less hungry, they didn't have as many cravings, so they were eating smaller portions. And since most of us don't get enough fiber, the recommendation for fiber is 30 grams of fiber per day, and most of us get only about 14 grams. We could all benefit from eating more resistant starch and more fiber in the diet to help with belly fat, but also with overall health. The next food group that can really help when it comes to fighting belly fat is vitamin C rich foods. These are things like oranges, strawberries, citrus fruits, bell peppers, even spinach. They're all good sources of vitamin C. Now, why is getting more vitamin C in the diet important? It's because it helps to lower circulating stress hormones. Now, this is what happens. When you're under stress, your body releases stress hormones, things like cortisol and adrenaline. They elevate in the body. Now, cortisol specifically makes your body store more fat, and it tends to store more fat right in the midsection. That's the belly fat. So if we can eat foods that help to lessen the stress response in the body and to lessen those circulating stress hormones, like vitamin C, we can have less of that circulating cortisol and store less belly fat. Another food group that's very beneficial are foods that contain omega-3 fatty acids. Now, these are the fatty acids we find in fish, and we also get them in plant-based sources like walnuts and chia seeds. And these are beneficial in a very similar way to vitamin C. When we eat more omega-3 fatty acids in the diet, it helps to prevent our stress hormones from peaking. So there's less circulating stress hormones in the body, and our body's less likely to store more belly fat. On top of this, omega-3 fatty acids really help to cool off inflammation in the body. When our body's less inflamed, we see a lower stress response as well, and we see less of our body's fat storing ability and more of our body's fat burning ability. Another food I want you to try adding into your diet to help to burn belly fat are chia seeds. Now, chia seeds are great because they're packed full of fiber, and the fiber they contain is what we call soluble fiber. This is a fiber that our body can absorb, and it creates a gel-like substance which can help do things like lower cholesterol levels. It can also help us feel really satisfied and full. And it plays a big role when it comes to burning belly fat. So how big of a role does soluble fiber play when it comes to belly fat? It can be a pretty big one. A 5-year study looked at soluble fiber intake and the amount of fat that's stored in the abdominal cavity, which is that visceral fat or belly fat. And they found when you ate an additional 10 grams of soluble fiber every day, you stored about 4% less belly fat. So adding in soluble fiber can help us feel satisfied, it can help to lower cholesterol levels and improve heart health, but it can also play a big role in helping to lower belly fat. And finally, consider adding green tea to your meal plan. So green tea is a terrific source of antioxidants, which can help to fight against inflammation in the body, but it also contains a compound called EGCG. And this compound has a direct role on metabolism. It can help our body to burn more calories throughout the day by basically heating up our body a bit in a thermogenic process. On top of that, research has found that people who drink green tea throughout the day on a regular basis, they're more likely to lose weight. Now, the weight loss associated with drinking green tea is pretty moderate. In general, it was about 3 pounds on average over a 12-week period. So it doesn't seem like a lot, but what's really interesting is that the research found the majority of the fat that was lost was coming specifically from the abdominal cavity, that visceral fat. So green tea might help with moderate weight loss, but what the real role is it's specifically helping to target weight loss coming from that visceral fat, that dangerous belly fat we're trying to get rid of. So sipping on a glass of green tea per day, it's beneficial for our heart, it's giving us a lot of antioxidants, but it may also help to slim those waistlines too. So there you have it. Those are my top 5 foods for helping to fight against belly fat. So comment below and let me know. Have you tried adding these foods into your meal plan, and did you see a difference? And if you liked today's video, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new video. I can't wait to see you next time.